Hello happy souls, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Twins 1111. Beautiful friends, I've got an extra long reading for you today with an extended, and we are asking, what does your person want to say? There's like channeled messages from your person. What do they need you to know about themselves, about your connection, about what's going on in their lives, what blockages are existing between you? These are the things they can't say to you for whatever reason that they're not able to say to you, but we're going to get these messages through their higher self today to help you understand your connection to them more deeply, to help you move forward for the highest good of both of you. So I've got 3 piles for you to choose from. Before I start, I just want to say thank you for the lovely decks I have received these last few days. Now this one, the Star Spinner Tarot, this didn't actually come with a message, so I don't know who sent me this. Thank you so much. I absolutely adore this deck. I've wanted it for ages, and we're using it in pile 1 today. So thank you to the lovely viewer who sent me this. I'm so grateful. We're also using these Oracle cards today. This is the Oracle of Shadows and Light. This was a gift from Jess, and Jess says, you are the definition of awesome. Me and probably millions more would be lost without your guidance and light. Keep shining as bright as you do. Oh, thank you, Jess. That is so sweet. I don't know about millions, maybe a few thousand, but perhaps not millions. I don't think I'm not there yet, getting there. And we've also got the Witch's Tarot. This was a gift from Alessandra, and she says, Charlotte, I love and appreciate your readings. Thank you for all that you do and enjoy the deck. Thank you so much, Alexandra. The Witch's Tarot, we're using this in pile 2. I'm also using a couple of other Oracle decks today that were gifts to me. We are using this is the Power of Love Oracle, which was from Vanessa. And we're also using the Soulmate Cards, which were another gift from Vanessa. So thank you so much. You guys really do spoil me. If you would like to send me a deck by way of appreciation for the readings I create here, you can find a link to my Amazon wishlist in the description box below. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm mincing my words. It's of course not essential at all, but it's very much appreciated. It does help to keep my readings fresh. So thank you to all of those of you that do send donations via PayPal and gifts via Amazon. You are so very sweet. I appreciate you so much. Okay, let's do this. 3 piles. The first one is the Star Spinner Tarot with twin quartz. The second one is the Witch's Tarot with an angelite heart. And the third one is the lovely Omens Tarot with amethyst. There's no right or wrong way to choose a pile. Just see which one you're drawn to. The timestamps are in the comments down below. If you're drawn to more than one, that's cool. It just means there's messages in more than one pile for you. And these are all timeless readings. So make a note of which pile you watch today. And that way, if you need to revert back to this reading at a later date with the same question, you'll know which pile you've watched already. And there could be another pile that's good for you at a later date. Okay, let's do this. I am going to move piles 2 and 3 out of the way. Sorry, they're a bit slippy slidey. And let's start with pile 1, the Star Spinner Tarot and twin quartz. Okay, pile 1, what would your person like to say to you? What are the messages from your person? What do you need to know the most to help you both move forward? And whilst I'm shuffling, I did open my diary for a week's worth of private bookings. They sold out in about an hour. I'm moving house soon, but thereafter I will probably open my diary again, maybe in September. If you would like to receive an update when I'm offering private bookings, then please subscribe to my website. When you go to happysouls1111.com, one of the first boxes that pops up is the little green one that says join my tribe. If you drop your email address in there, you'll get a notification every time I post. The same for my classes and webinars, which I know I keep saying I'm going to announce them. I am on it. It's going to be any day now. So if you haven't subscribed to my website already and you want to learn with me or get a booking with me, make sure you subscribe to the website and you'll be the first to know, because they usually do sell out before I advertise them here. As I said, in this case, they were gone within an hour. And then I had lots of emails from people that were really sad that they missed out. I'm really sorry. But yeah, the new classes and webinars are coming your way very soon. Okay, pile 1. We have got the Empress in reverse, the 3 of Cups in reverse, Death in reverse, the Two of Wands in reverse. These cards were very well shuffled, so if they're coming up in reverse, that's because they're blocked energies. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. We have got the Seven of Swords. I am loving this deck. Aren't they beautiful? We've got Temperance in reverse. And we've got the Three of Wands in reverse. So there's a lot of 3 energy here. That's 333. That may be significant to some of you. So we're going to get some oracle cards as well. So this is the deck that Jess bought me. These are the Oracle of Shadows and Light. We've got Fairy of the Green World, the natural world needs you. Witch at the end of the world, an important end and a new beginning. And from the Power of Love activation cards, these are a gift from Vanessa. Oh, you guys are so sweet. You send me so many beautiful decks. Thank you. We have got Transformation and Unity. And from the Soulmate Cards, we have got Stop Taking Life So Seriously, Let Go of Inhibitions, Be Creative, and one more, I Feel You Forever in My Heart. So we'll read those properly as we go through. And finally, I'm going to use these blanks that I've written on with messages. Let's see what these say. I cannot give you something you aren't prepared to give yourself. Even though it's been so long, you are still the first thing and last thing on my mind every day. I wish I knew how to love you the way that you deserve to be loved. It's really beautiful. Let's get another couple. Oh. If you knew the real me, you might not feel the same. I have so much growing still to do. I'm sorry, I'm just not ready. So it feels like this person is with somebody else and they have chosen to remain in the relationship they're in. And I'm hearing that this person needs you to understand that it wasn't because they don't love you. They're letting me know that there is an enormous amount of confusion and misunderstanding surrounding their reasons for staying in the relationship they're in. I do believe they have tried to discuss this with you, but the pain in you is just hearing rejection, abandonment, rejection, abandonment. This has caused you to believe that you're not good enough. This has caused you to believe that this person doesn't care or love you as much as they have previously led you to believe. You have felt very betrayed in them choosing somebody else. And this person needs you to understand that for them, it just didn't feel like a choice, that leaving the person they're with didn't feel like an option. They don't want to be cast as, the cheater. They didn't want to betray their person in that way. I'm seeing this with the Three of Cups here in reverse, clarified by the Seven of Swords. And so it does very much feel like they had to call to an end this relationship with you. They've had to walk away. And they just desperately want to reassure you that that's what needed to happen. This was, divine fate, divine intervention, because with the Empress in reverse here, they're calling to your attention that you also have so much growing left to do. You are in distorted feminine energy right now, which means there's a lot of anxious attachment, codependency. You've been feeling disempowered. You are still not loving from a healthy place. So this person, that they may believe that they made these decisions to stay where they are through the intention of self-preservation, of protecting their family unit, protecting themselves and their other person from hurt and pain. In reality, this was divinely guided action. This was the spin of the wheel. This is the Wheel of Fortune here. It was the hands of fate creating opportunities for you to be apart so that you can both continue to grow. This person has unresolved karma to deal with here. And, you have your own healing to deal with also. there is a resistance to this in both of you, with the Death card coming up here, and we've got also the Transformation card and the Witch at the end of the world, an important end and a new beginning. You know, these cards are really drawing to your attention that, you know, both of you need to transform through this process, and that both of you are very much resisting that energy of transformation right now. With Temperance in reverse, you know, this is a very soulmatey, twin flamey card, but it's mainly about self-love and balance. You can see here that this angel is filling his own cup. So he's got the Two of Cups there, which we normally see as a relationship. But in Temperance, what we're actually being shown is that we must learn to fill our own cups, that the true love, that true relationship is the one that exists within. So both of you have, you know, a very unhealthy approach to loving yourselves. And this is the real reason why you are struggling to come together in love. Each of you still has to learn that. Your person has to learn to love themselves enough to make decisions that are going to make them happy, to recognize it's not their responsibility to make anyone else happy, and that includes you, okay? Because they really felt stuck. They felt stuck. They knew that whatever decision they made, that someone was going to get hurt. It was either going to be you or it was going to be this other person that they were with. Now, in reality, because they were with this person, they've already built a life with them, dismantling that connection was significantly more uncomfortable than moving away from the connection they've had with you. So in reality, they've not made a decision born of love. They've not made a decision born of what they truly want or what's going to make them happy. They've actually taken the easiest route, the one that's going to cause the least upheaval. And because they don't live with you, because it's easy enough for them to turn their back on you, they were able to walk away from your situation much more easily than they were able to walk away from this other one. But in their mind, they just couldn't bear to hurt someone. And, you know, hurting you instead of this person, it's something they wouldn't have to face and see. You know, they had the option to close the door on you and not to be party to or to witness your hurt. Whereas with this person, that wouldn't have been so easy. And they may not be consciously aware of that, you know, but that was really at the root of it. So, you know, it's not a decision based on a true rejection of you. In reality, neither one of you is ready to make a decision about how to move this connection forward. And, you know, the wait isn't over, is what I'm hearing. You may be very new to this soul's journey, and I do feel this is a very spiritual relationship. You may be twin flames or soulmates. Regardless, you know, what you're actually being called to do here is to rise above, to rise above this pain and longing that you feel for one another, and to learn to self-soothe and satisfy that need for love within. That's definitely, you know, what's in the cards here. This person also wants you to know, you know, that they never felt equal to or deserving of you either. You know, it does say here, if you knew the real me, you might not feel the same. And in reality, because you've not known this person that long, you've not had a proper relationship with them, you've not lived with them, you know, there are so many... excuse me, would you shut the door on your way out, please, Bear? There are so many little idiosyncratic behaviours that exist in them and around them that they're pretty sure may, you know, prove to be really off-putting for you. There's things that they haven't revealed themselves about themselves as well, and I'm hearing that a lot of these things are behavioural. You know, this comes down to people that don't know how to communicate will always think that you're trying to start an argument. I feel like this person's concealed this part of themselves quite well. You know, they recognise in you from the way you talk about your pain that you are emotionally intelligent and, you know, fairly highly evolved and expressive when it comes to matters of the heart. They have probably proved to be a really good listener, but they're also saying, you know, I'm really in awe when you start talking about your feelings and making sense of how you need to heal and taking ownership of your own wounds. I don't know how to do that yet. does say here as well that I can't give you something you aren't prepared to give to yourself. And again, you know, this goes back to this distorted feminine energy. You know, their higher self is saying that I can't love you until you love yourself, because to reject yourself is a rejection of them. Yeah. So you can't give them something you don't already have, which means, you know, you may think you're loving them unconditionally, but in reality, you are coming at this situation with a bag full of conditions. You know, you're hurt that they didn't meet your conditions or your expectations. And we could argue that that's very human and normal reaction, and it is, but it's also demonstrative of the lack of unconditional loving here. In reality, if you were loving yourself, you would understand that this person needs freedom right now to resolve their own pain and to come into loving union with self. The reason that's so hard for you to accept is because you're not quite there yourself yet either. Even though it's been so long, you are still the first and last thing on my mind every day. I'm hearing that this person can find that very hard sometimes. You know, this person has definitely been in the energy of resistance where they've tried very hard to forget about who you are. And again, you mustn't take this personally. This is because they don't want to face the discomfort of having to make adjustments in their life. They don't want to face the discomfort of having to dismantle this other relationship and face all the judgment, the anger, the grief that's going to transpire from that situation if they leave. They really are terrified of it. And they're also terrified of actually pursuing you and then being caught out as this cheat, because that will then culminate in their worst fears becoming true, that they have to deal with this other situation, this karmic situation. For whatever reason, they do feel very, very strongly connected to this karmic relationship. And I don't feel like they're really understanding at a deep kind of level of awareness why that is, except that they're just very fearful of leaving. And, you know, the fearful person in them doesn't want to confront that. They don't want to make a decision. They don't want to bring it to an end. So, you know, their ego just tells them, stay where you are. You're happy where you are. It's going to be fine where you are. And so they get in this energy of desperately trying to remove you from their consciousness, which of course they can't do. You know, they wake up, they think of you. They go to sleep, they think of you. In between, they're thinking of you. This person has been very frustrated with that energy. I'm hearing that they swing between surrendering to it and kind of really resenting and resisting it. I wish I knew how to love you the way you deserve to be loved. And again, for me, this is really connected to this idea that when they hear you speak, you know, they just feel so inferior. They're kind of mesmerized by the concepts and philosophies that you're explaining to them. And yeah, it triggers this massive inferiority complex. And, you know, I have so much growing to do. I'm just not ready. And that, you know, it kind of both excites them and terrifies them. They're not sure how to respond to those kind of emotional depths. You know, they're just not built that way yet. You know, this is the transformation that's required. So even though you're ahead of the game, as I said, they are drawing to our attention that there is resistance to transformation here for both of you. You know, both of you need to learn to, I'm hearing, to allow yourself to fail, like magnificently, you know, to trust that the art of living is in knowing how to fail and willingly embracing failure. As human beings, we learn by making mistakes. We learn through our experience. And I feel like this is where both of you struggle, because you're so afraid of failing. You're so afraid of things not working out how you want them to, that you don't take the risks that would allow that divine path to open up. Both of you are so afraid to be vulnerable. So it does say here as well, let go of inhibitions, be creative, allow your imagination to run wild. Your love will transform in ways you never thought possible. So this is coming up very close to that reverse death and temperance card. These energies of rebalancing, bringing everything to transformation, allowing an ending so you can have that new beginning. And transformation here says you use the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. So, there really is a need here to be open to, open to failure. It's about making peace with the potential worst outcome and saying, well, I can face that, so I'm going to do it anyway. It's feeling the fear and going ahead and doing it anyway, surrendering to it. Stop taking life so seriously. Achievements and possessions will pale into insignificance when your soul journeys back home to the light from which everything stems. So this person is definitely very, very nervous and uncomfortable about the material constraints, limitations, and potential sacrifices were they to leave this karmic connection. This is someone that's worked very hard to build themselves up and to find this place of stability they're in now. So it makes a lot of sense why they're so reluctant to dismantle it, because they get a lot of their self-worth from the outer world and that stability, security, and financial achievement. So there is a message here that you're probably mirroring each other, and this energy is in you as well. That if you're very focused on your achievements, your possessions, your work, that this pales into insignificance when compared with your soul's journey, which is where your focus needs to be. And again, you're in this distorted feminine energy. So that's, you definitely need to recognize how each of you are mirroring one another and not necessarily investing in your own growth, due to your external circumstances. I feel you forever in my heart. You are in my thoughts and in the air I breathe. You are a jewel, a sparkling diamond. Your heart is like a great ocean of love. Thank you. And Unity says you understand that the love shared with another is amplified and has a ripple effect across the universe. So, I think this is just reassuring you, and it could be that you've been in separation for a long time. This person, again, the first message that came out was that they needed you to understand that their rejection of you, their walking away, this separation, wasn't because of their lack of love. And I feel like you haven't had any affirming signs, communication in the 3D that would reassure you. So this is your reassurance, trust that your love is not in vain, that the more you send love to this person energetically, the more it's amplified, because there is love there for you. They feel you in their heart, your thoughts, in the air you breathe. They try and run from it, but in reality, they can't hide. And there are moments when they surrender to that and enjoy it and indulge in that fantasy. When that happens at the same time, i.e. both of you are in this energy of feeling one another in your hearts, and really appreciating one another's presence there and sharing that energy, that's when you start to amplify union energies. So this person's saying, don't cut me off just because I'm not there in the 3D. There's a message here for you to really allow yourself to surrender to the connection, energetically speaking, in the 5D. Now, it says the natural world needs you, and I'm hearing that both of you need to be more grounded. This is a 4-4. It's next to a 4-5. So 3 4s there and 3 3s. Remember, 3 is the number of creation, manifestation, abundance. 4 is the number of stability, balance, and harmony. So there's a definite need here to ground your connection, to ground yourself, to ground one another, to spend a lot of time with the natural world. I'm hearing for you in particular that this is where you can get a lot of respite as well. This is where you can find a lot of peace and solace. And it may be that you've not committed time to being outdoors recently, that you've also, in mirroring their energy, become distracted by all of those insignificant external events such as work, achievement, material possessions, home, all that kind of thing. So they are also asking you, to turn your attention back to the natural world. This could relate to your diet as well as actually being outside, to be aware of what you're actually putting into your body. So let's get some charms for you and some guidance as well. So, that one's fallen out. We've got writer. And another one fallen out. This is a positive sign. Hello, I'm yours. the Shell, the Sun, and the Loner Club. Okay, let's get some guidance cards. What does this person need you to know about how you can move along this journey with more grace? I'm going to take this over to the extended once I've done these guidance cards as well. We're going to take a deeper look, see how they're thinking and feeling about this connection, what their intentions are, and again, more guidance about how you can move forward. I want to make up for all the times I was meant to be holding you. Stop giving your power away. Fill your own tank first. Stop running. Your relationship will transform when you transform the relationship with yourself. So again, there's a heavy emphasis on self-love here, filling your own tank, focusing on your relationship. And you may not have considered yourself the runner, but if you're, not communicating with this person, if you've got them blocked on social media, you're ignoring their messages, or you're trying to forget about them, or, resisting the love you feel for them, that is running. And running is something that happens energetically. When your thoughts are in resistance, you're running. Whether you're taking action to support those thoughts or not, the energy is one of resistance and running. So we've got Rider here, and I want to make up for all the time I was meant to be holding you. I do feel like it's going to be really helpful for you to write to them. But there is, and I say this as the clock was at 26:26. I don't know if that's significant for you. That's an 8/8 reduction. I don't think you necessarily need to give them the letters you're writing. This could be a journal. It could be letters that you write and store away without any intention of sending. But I'm hearing that this process is going to be really cathartic for you, and that you may also be able to automatic write and bring forward messages from them. This person really does want to make things up for you, and their higher self is saying, this is a positive sign. This is why they've come forward in this reading today. They just need you to reconnect with your inner faith, to get back on track with your own healing path, to find your own power, to learn to fill your own tank. As I said, there's a really huge emphasis in this whole reading on self-love and the resistance that both of you are into transformation. And if you're the divine feminine energy, you're the person that's going to be required to transform first. You find the light, and then they're inspired to find the light. Both of you right now have clammed up. You're trying to run and resist your feelings, and that creates a stagnant energy which doesn't allow either of you to progress or to continue transforming and bringing it back into balance. Hello, I'm yours. If you accept that you're a twin flame, you also have to accept that the nature of your connection is eternal. It's a contradiction to say, I'm a twin flame, but I don't think I'll ever be with my person. I'm a twin flame, but my person doesn't love or care about me. If you can acknowledge that you are a twin flame or a soulmate, you can acknowledge and accept that there is a divine connection between you, then, by default and logic, you need to also accept that their love is eternal, and that even though they may not be demonstrating it now or be in a position to communicate it or reciprocate it, it is still there. And for me, this is your person coming through with that. I am yours. Just trust. Please trust. They're asking you to really find your own light. Reminding you that through connecting with your own light, you illuminate the energy for the divine masculine. The sun is divine masculine energy. But the sun and the light of the sun is also what allows growth. On this planet, it's the energy of growth, manifestation, creation. So you're really being asked to step into your own light and to recognize its power to create growth, both within yourself and within the connection. You both need to be alone at this time. And I say both of you, your person may be in a relationship, but in reality, they're very much emotionally detached from that. They are alone. Right now, that's just the place that they choose to plant their feet, because it's the easiest place. There's no beef or arguments or dramas or grief to deal with yet. But in reality, you are both very much alone in your feelings. Both very much need to be alone to allow you to start transforming, to start moving through these energies. So again, this person's reminding you, I may not be physically with you, but I'm not really with anyone else either. Energetically speaking, you know, I'm yours. Separation is an illusion. It doesn't matter where I am in real terms. You know, we are always together. You know, you are forever in my heart. So I really hope that was helpful, part one. I'm going to take this over to the extended. As I said, we're going to take a deeper look at how this person is thinking and feeling, bring forward some more messages from them, some more guidance. I want to take a look as well what their intentions are in the near term. So if you enjoyed this reading, you want to join me over there, you can find a link to that in the description box below near the timestamps also. And if you enjoyed this video, please do tap the like button. It really does make the world of difference for my channel. And it's such a small energy exchange. It takes you just 2 seconds. It's very much appreciated. If you've got this far and enjoyed the video, tap that button. I appreciate that thumbs up so much. And if you would like to see more content like this, tap the subscriber button and the little bell icon next to it, and you'll get an update every time I post. And don't forget to look me up on Instagram as well. You can find me there at happysouls1111.com. See you next time, part one. Lots of love. Bye. Hello, part two. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Witch's Tarot with the Angelite Heart. So, let's do this. Now, while I'm shuffling, I did release some bookings, some private one-to-one bookings. I opened some slots in my diary last week. They sold out pretty quickly. Now, if you would like a private booking with me, you really need to subscribe to my website. When you click onto my homepage at happysouls1111.com, if you wait a moment, a little box will load that says join my soul tribe. And when you pop your email address in there, that means you're getting on the list for all the updates. Because when I open my diary, I opened 20 hours worth of slots last week and they sold out within an hour. So if you want a private booking, you need to be on that list. The same for my classes and my webinars. I've not actually announced them yet. That announcement is coming any day now. Again, they do sell out pretty quickly. So if you want to grab a place, if you want to learn with me, I'm doing a variety of different classes. You really need to be on that list. So do check out my website. I've had a lot of people emailing me saying, when are you doing readings again? When are you doing classes? I'm so sorry, I don't have time to reply to all individually. But if you're on that list, you will get those updates. Okay, so what does your person want to say to you, part two? Now, this reading is very much designed so that, you know, we can bring forward all of the messages, feelings, thoughts, circumstances that your person is afraid to communicate to you. This could be because they're shy, because they can't see you. You know, there might be a blockage to you communicating right now. You may be in separation. Whatever the reasons are, we're asking them, what do you need to know about this connection, about them and how they're feeling to help you both move forward for your highest good. So let's see what comes up here. So we have got the 5 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups in reverse, the 9 of Wands in reverse, Death in reverse, the 8 of Wands in reverse, the Emperor, and the Page of Cups in reverse. So let's get some more cards. This is the Oracle of Shadows and Light, a gift from Jess. Witch at the end of the world, an important end and a new beginning. Wow, Fairy of the Green World, the natural world needs you. Both of these cards came up in part one. So that's really spooky that we picked the same ones again after shuffling them. So this could be a collective shift at the moment. You know, this transformation and certainly the need to ground yourself and ground your connections. Grounding the energy in the collective grid is very important. This is the Power of Love activation cards, a gift from Vanessa. Oh my goodness, that also came out in part one. Transformation and present. Wow. Spooky syncs. It's so bizarre, isn't it, how that happens? Let's get some Soulmate Cards, another gift from Vanessa. You guys really spoil me with these cards. You're so sweet. If you would like to donate a deck, you can find a link to my Amazon wishlist or my PayPal account in the description box below. I am so grateful for you, my love. Clear your eyes and feel your spiritual connection. I will read all of them later. One more. My love is like an ocean, forever longing for your shore. That is beautiful. Okay, now finally, I'm going to use some of these cards, which are blanks that I purchased on Amazon and just wrote messages on myself. I'm always watching you on social media. This is going to be a fairly long reading today, and we will take it over to an extended as well. I'm aiming for at least 25 minutes and 20 minutes or so on the extended. We met at the wrong time. I wish it could be different. We found forever, but at the wrong time. So 2 messages there about timing. I have so much growing still to do. I'm sorry, I'm just not ready. That was also in pile 1. I didn't think love was real until I met you. It's beautiful, beautiful messages here for you, pile 2. So what does this person want to say to you? What do they need you to know? Now, the first card out was the 5 of Cups. This person is very much in a state of grief and pain right now. I'm hearing that this person really does have what seem to be insurmountable amounts of grief, tragedy, trauma, depression, mental instability. This person, I'm just really drawn to how the tide is kind of quite rough. And, you know, the tide just comes in and out. It pulls us. In one, you know, 1 minute they may feel okay. The next minute they're overwhelmed again. It feels like this person's state is very unbalanced, very unstable, very unpredictable. And right now they are in the energy of grief and transformation. I'm hearing that you have helped this person a lot. You've been a tremendous support to them. And it does say, I'm so grateful for you, my love. You give so freely without condition. Life is an endless flow of blessings because of your great love. And I really do feel that they feel that, you know, that when they're drowning, when that tide is kind of overwhelming them, it's through you and your love that they're able to find some respite and some balance and some peace from their inner pain. But this is clarified by death in reverse. I do feel like in order to move things forward between you two, this person has to come out of this energy. And what I'm hearing is there's a tremendous amount of resistance to coming out of being in this energy. We've got the death in reverse here. We also got the transformation card. And it feels like this person is very afraid to create change in their life. They have become very comfortable with and very accustomed to the energies of their present circumstances and past circumstances. What I'm hearing is they've been in this energy of grief, unpredictability, instability, toxicity for a really long time. Now, it may seem completely illogical that this person wouldn't want to remove themselves from this pain. But again, they're comfortable. Sometimes fear of the unknown outweighs, you know, the discomfort of our present. And so even though this person recognizes the need to shift and change, the fear of actually doing so is keeping them very stuck. And so the first message that's really coming forward from their higher self for you is, it's not you, it's me. Okay, they need you to know that, you know, you're measuring this from the perspective of thinking, if this person really loved me, they would make an effort. And in doing that, you're depriving them of autonomy over their own comfort. You know, they shouldn't be doing anything to meet your needs. Right now, they have to meet their own, and they might not be meeting their own needs in a way that you think is proficient, but at the end of the day, they are at least being true to themselves. Your desire to have them demonstrate change to satisfy you and to prove their love for you is not healthy. That's not coming from a healthy place. And again, remember, you mirror each other. So if this person is in dire straits, chances are there are shadow aspects about self that you are also not acknowledging and that you are also resisting creating transformation for. The death card in reverse really is a resistance to something coming to an end. And it does say here an important end and a new beginning. And again, you've got that transformation card. So both of these cards and the death card came out in pile 1. Pile 1 was connected to the energy of a karmic, which I don't see here, but the energies are quite similar, so you may find the messages in pile 1 useful as well. But yeah, this person's very stuck, and they need you to know that them being stuck isn't a reflection or a measure of their love for you. It's just a measure of where they're at and the discomfort they have in creating change. And they do want to create change. We've got the Two of Pentacles here. They very much want to create change. They're just so terrified of doing so. There is an awareness that there's a need to shift things. There is an awareness that they've got to bring things back into balance. But they're so terrified of actually doing it. And with the Eight of Wands here in reverse, you know, they're certainly not in any hurry to create these changes. Now, I feel like this person with the Ten of Cups in reverse has rejected some kind of union or relationship with you. And again, this is born of their desire to remain in control. You know, being in the state they're in, which, you know, I do think they're very much out of balance. They're in very distorted energy right now. You know, to allow themselves to be open and vulnerable enough to have a relationship is just too much of a significant leap for this person right now, because their feelings are so unpredictable and unstable. They don't trust themselves to be open and vulnerable with you because they don't know that they can stay in control. And so they picked control, comfort, the kind of, I was going to say the stability they have, but it's, you know, they've got some stability by not involving themselves too deeply with you. You know, because they're already overwhelmed and they don't want to open another floodgate by moving things forward with you. So, you know, even though things don't seem very stable, at least they're kind of accustomed to that instability. They don't want to create more. And so this person is very much in the energy of trying to control and harness their emotions and not allow them to run away with them, not allow themselves to be open to a loving union or coming together here. I'm hearing this is really frustrating for you, because I do feel like this person actually does, you know, I'm really drawn to how in this Emperor card you can see two children playing in the background, just here by the water, and they are free. Look how pure they are. They've got no shoes on, they're paddling in the water, they're allowing themselves to interact safely, vulnerably, while the masculine energy rests here with all of this armor. He's even got a cup here, look, which has a lid on it. You know, he's not giving anything away. He's so protected and defended and rooted to the spot. So I do feel like this represents kind of that inner child. So I do feel like whilst they won't get into a deep, meaningful relationship with you, they won't commit at this stage, it does feel like they want to keep you close. You know, they want those friendly interactions. They want to be playful. They want to stay connected to you, but they have to stand back from that as well. They have to keep their armor on. You know, they have to stay rooted and committed to this energy of just trying to stay balanced and in control of themselves. So this person, you know, I feel like this is a very frustrating energy to you, because the level of interaction may be frequent. You know, they may come forward in many ways, but emotionally, this person is hanging back and they're refusing to commit. But again, the message here, it's not me. Sorry, it's not you, it's me. And this person isn't giving up. So I feel like even though they're not being emotionally expressive, even though they're not saying, yeah, I love you too, this is going to work out, it's all going to be great. You know, even though they're not coming forward and admitting their feelings, you know, they're not making any offers, they're not being romantic, they're also showing up. You know, that they're kind of showing you that this is as much as I can give right now, but I am here. And so it does feel like that energy of, as I said, kind of being present, but not really open. And of course, we've got present here. You live in the moment and you are able to bring forth the energy of love in your present or current circumstances. And I do feel like what this person, you know, that is basically what they're trying to achieve. They're trying to be present without giving too much away of themselves, because they know it's not time. And we've got, you know, as I said, a few cards. I'm not ready. We met at the wrong time. We found forever, but at the wrong time. You know, I have so much growing still to do. I'm sorry, I'm just not ready. And again, you know, we've got this 5 energy here. 5 Well, it's the number of the Hierophant, the number of higher learning, authority, higher wisdom. But 5 is also a transitional number. It's that number in the middle. It's about moving from one energy to the other. So I do feel like this person is reassuring you that they are at that tipping point. You know, that even though there is resistance to transformation, an important end and a new beginning is coming. And, you know, this person, as I said, I do think they show up. I feel like the level of interaction here is probably quite significant. It's just not emotional. It may be more platonic. Even if they're flirty sometimes, they're still being unyielding when it comes to commitment, regularity, that kind of stuff. They're certainly not meeting any romantic needs here, but they are constantly thinking about you, watching you, and, you know, they're very much invested in this connection. They just can't allow themselves to let that go. They can't allow that energy to flow for you to see it because they're so afraid of losing control. And yeah, they're so grateful to you. You know, I'm hearing that you really have been a significant, you've played a significant role in them, you know, getting to this transitional point. It does feel like this person's been stuck for a very long time with the 5 of Cups here. It could even be for 5 years. You know, that this person's been struggling for a really long time, but they are at that tipping point. You know, this is the cusp of change. Close your eyes and feel your spiritual connection to everything on this planet. Every person, animal, tree and flower. Feel the ocean, the wind and the sky, all in perfect harmony, moved by the one eternal flow of love. I feel like this person, and we had the natural world needs you, and we've also got the present card. I feel like this person does feel more present when they're with you, and it's your connection to the natural world, your ability to go within, to move with energy, that is very inspiring for them. I'm hearing this person's very reluctant or resistance to embrace their own divinity, even though they would like to. They struggle to kind of see themselves as divine. But for me, this is very much about bringing the outer world into your connection. This could be through working with the elementals and energies, or if one or each of you get the time to be together in the great outdoors, if you're able to teach this person to meditate or to manifest or to work with the earthly realms, there's definitely a need to, I mean, it's come up twice now, the natural world needs you. There's a need to ground this connection and to focus on using the energies, you know, of the earth, of Mother Earth, to help reinforce that connection to one another. My love is like an ocean, forever longing for your shore. You are an eternal ocean of love. I close my eyes and my heart is filled with rose quartz light. So this certainly refers to them feeling that ebb and flow of your love and energy. Rose quartz, perhaps this is something you've gifted them, or a visualization you've shared with them, or perhaps this is just really affirming for you that that's what you send them, pink light, you know, pink rose quartz light, or you use that stone when you're doing healing work on your connection. But I thought it was lovely how it describes it like an ocean, and then we see here in this Page of Cups, which was blocked, the ocean raging behind them. Now the Page of Cups is the energy of messages, and it's reversed. You know, and these two cards have come up together. My love is like an ocean. So despite feeling this love for you and being embodied by it and recognizing this person isn't able to communicate it, but I feel like it, you know, it's presented in this way today so that you can be reassured that it is there. They do feel it. They just really need to stay in control right now. So we're going to get some guidance cards for you as well. And I'm going to get some charms. I want some of these cards. These are blanks that I've written on. This is guidance from Spirit. Find your soul tribe. When I'm with you, I don't know how to act. The energy between us is intense and overwhelming. This should have been in the other deck, but that obviously needed to come out. It's time to be honest about your codependent behaviours and focus on inner peace. Oh, sorry for the wobbly camera. I can balance that. Okay, let's get some of these. Another couple. Okay. So what have we got here? We have got slightly bitter, lemon. We have got the aeroplane. We have got the ammonite. Oh, we've got save yourself. We've got the sloth party animal. We've got music, this little record player. And finally, this little tiny one says, Daddy's Princess. So find your soul tribe. I think with the bit about codependent behaviours, this kind of came up earlier when we spoke about what unconditional love and isn't, and you wanting this person to heal themselves and show the effort because that somehow proves your worthiness, okay? That in itself is codependent. It's needing someone else to fulfill certain expectations so that we can feel good. It's using someone else to help us feel good rather than generating that energy for ourselves. Now, finding your soul tribe, you're going to find a lot of people that understand exactly what that means, because we've all been through this. We all arrive at this journey with codependence. We all arrive at this journey with self-love deficit. We all arrive with very unhealthy relationship dynamics and our understanding of that. And, you know, we were taught by people that probably didn't understand relationships and love themselves. So this is now about undoing that old programming. If you don't have any friends that are experiencing a journey like this, then you're going to find it really difficult, because anyone, and just to be clear, there's a very spiritual connection between you here, yeah? And if you're getting advice from someone that isn't spiritually aware or experiencing their own spiritual relationship, they're not going to be able to give you safe and appropriate advice. So by finding other people that are on this journey, you're going to get much more clarity as well as support. So if you haven't already, do check out my Facebook group. You can find a link to it in the description box below. It's just a support group for people that are on this journey, soul of ascension, and experiencing a spiritual relationship. And they're going to understand where you're coming from. They're going to be much better placed to advise you. We did have, you know, coming up for you, yeah, it's codependence. It's codependence. You're still, I feel like you're actually in a really balanced place compared to where you were. But it says it's time to be honest about it. And I feel like you've done such a lot of work around this that you've kind of convinced yourself there's nothing more to do. And you need to be aware. Remember, transformation happens when we shift into awareness. And we've also got that save yourself charm here as well. You know, this is a time for taking care of you, and they've got to save themselves. You know, they've got to be responsible for bringing about their own healing. You can't do that for them. We've got the aeroplane here. Now, this can mean a variety of things. Obviously, the most obvious thing is that there's travel involved somewhere here. This is moving towards the left, which makes me that's the past. So it could be that this person is literally, the ammonite can refer to past life karma. You know, obviously ammonites being an ancient fossil type thing. There could be past life stuff that they may need to revisit the past in order that they can move forward again. But for some, there could be actual literal travel involved here. This person may need to move away from you for a period of time to put some distance between you so that they can allow that healing to happen. And again, you're asked not to take this personally. But for sure, there are definitely, you know, some past life, karmic kind of stuff. This is a cycle that's been going on and on that still needs to be resolved. I feel like for you as well, I love this one because it's a bit of a paradox. The sloth is such a lazy being. You know, it's not a party type of creature, is it? It's not very sociable. And yet I feel like you're maybe forcing yourself into that box just to get into the energy of forgetting, moving away from, to help you stay in resistance a bit more comfortably. You know, perhaps by distracting yourself with lots of social behaviours, you're able to elevate yourself above that longing and pain. But again, that's kind of not allowing yourself to really grow. It's not acknowledging the codependent nature of this connection. music is very prominent for you too. I'm guided you need to switch on the radio a bit more, and also if there's a collection of vinyl close by, there is a song in there that you really need to listen to that's going to help you make sense of some of the energies between you. And Daddy's Princess. Now, this can mean different things. I feel like for some of you, this could be those kind of father wounds in you where you have this entitlement to the or codependency even to the masculine energy. It could also mean that they actually have a child that is creating a distraction or blockage in the connection here. But my gut feeling is it's more linked to you. If you didn't have a really stable, secure relationship with a father figure, the wounds of that, of not feeling supported by that masculine energy, are going to seep into other relationships. So there might be a message here for some of you, to become aware of how that wound is showing up in your relationships, of needing that validation, that masculine validation. So I really hope that was helpful for you, part 2. I'm going to take this over to the extended reading now. We're obviously going to get some deeper layers of guidance, some deeper messages from your person. I want to look at their thoughts and feelings a bit more, figure out what their intentions are, and obviously get more information about how you can move forward. So if this resonated for you, you can find a link to the extended in the description box below, also down by the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was a pleasure as always. If you did like this video, please do actually hit the like button. Every time you do that, it really helps me out. YouTube see that kind of engagement as positive, and they'll promote my video more. So it only takes you 2 seconds, and it's just such a small energy exchange by way of thanks for the free content I provide. I appreciate it so much when you tap that like button. Thank you. And likewise, if you would like to see more content like this, then please do hit the subscribe button, tap the little bell icon, and you will get a notification every single time I post. If you want to check out my mini readings on Instagram, you can find me over there at happysouls1111.com. See you next time, part 2. Bye. Hello, part 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the lovely Omens Tarot with Amethyst. Let's get this show on the road. And whilst I'm shuffling, I did open private bookings. I opened 20 hours worth of slots for 1 week, but they all sold out within an hour, so I never got to announcing them here because the notification was sent out to my website subscribers list, and then they sold out. So if you want to book a reading with me in the future, I'm not sure when I'll open my diary again, but I will again at some point. You really do need to be on my website subscribers list because it's unlikely that it will be announced anywhere else because they sell out so quick. And the same for my classes and webinars, which are going to be announced any day now. They sell out pretty quick as well. If you'd like to learn with me, I'll be doing courses on mediumship for beginners, all kinds of stuff. There's going to be some new classes I haven't done before on webinars. If you want to get those notifications, the best place to sign up to receive updates is on my website subscriber list. I get a lot of people asking me, in personal emails, kind of emailing me. I don't have time to reply to all of those, but if you would like to be updated and notified, then the best thing to do is to set up the notifications on the subscribers list. Okay, so what does your person want to say to you, part 3? Now, this is about bringing forward the stuff that they just, for whatever reason, cannot say to your face. Perhaps they can't find the words. Perhaps their 3D self doesn't know how to say those things, but their higher self does. So this is about bringing forward messages from your person's higher self about their feelings, their thoughts, their circumstances, their guidance, to help offer you some clarity on what's happening in your connection. So let's do this. What do they want you to know? We have got the 2 of Wands. We've got the 10 of Wands in reverse. We've got the World in reverse. And we've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the 2 of Swords in reverse. The Page of Cups. The Ace of Wands. And the Knight of Pentacles. These are really exciting energies we've got for you here, guys. Okay, we're going to get some oracle cards as well. This is the Shadows and Light Oracle deck, a gift from Jess. Thank you so much, Jess. If you guys would like to send a tarot deck, you can find a link to my Amazon wishlist in the description box below. I always appreciate it so much. You can send a donation via PayPal if you prefer, but thank you so much of you. Thank you to so many of you that do that. It's appreciated so much. Right, we have got I am Kali, from death comes rebirth. And dried flower fairy, sweet memories. And, oh, sorry for wobbly camera. And we have also got the Power of Love activation cards. These were a gift from Vanessa. And we've got past. Through the power of love, you release any stagnant situations or energy. We'll read the rest of that as we go. And integrity. And from the Soulmate cards, these are also a gift from Vanessa. Thank you, lovely lady. In order for you to heal your relationship with another, you must first heal the relationship with yourself. Let go of inhibitions and be creative. Oh, there's two come out here. I feel you forever in my heart. Stop taking life so seriously. We've already had those two out today. It's so funny how that works. So many things. Okay, and these ones, these are just cards I've created myself. I've written messages on some blanks here. See what these say. My heart is blocked. I don't feel anything. I'm beginning to understand. I want you to, and I'm thinking about how to make a move, and I'm really seeing this in these energies. Your energy asked me to grow. I'm not ready to grow. I'm always watching you on social media. Okay, so what's coming forward really, really strong and clear here is that your person's made a decision. We've got here from death comes rebirth, and this person has moved through some stagnant situations in their past that has allowed them to transform their perspective of this relationship. We've got the Two of Swords here in reverse and the Two of Wands. They are moving out of this energy of inner conflict, inner turmoil, and moving into decisive, action-oriented energy. I say moving, they're not there yet, because with this Ten of Wands in reverse, they're still fearful. They're still fearful of taking responsibility, of making a firm leap or commitment. What I feel this person is ready to come in with, and what they're saying to you here is, you know, let us go slow. I need to come in gently. I need to, you know, the Page of Cups is the energy of a crush. You know, this is when you first meet someone and you date and it's really easy going and there's no pressure, no major expectations. You're learning to enjoy one another's company, you know, learning how to interact and be together. It's just a very light-hearted, very casual energy. So this person's still very much afraid of real commitment. But they are making a decision that they need to come forward, and they're asking you to be receptive to this, because right now you're in this energy of wanting it all, and they're saying, listen, we're going to get to the all bit, but first we have to navigate this bit. We can't rush to the end goal. We have to, you know, follow the path. There is a journey here that we need to take together, and so you need to release some of your expectations to allow an opening for these energies to flow, these union energies. These are union energies, which a lot of our path threes have had those recently. So yeah, they're not ready for that real commitment, but they do really want to come forward. You may have had the impression that this connection was very much over, but in reality, in you having detached and allowed yourself to kind of release the need for union, in you kind of having become okay with it, you've actually made space for those union energies to move and to shift. And so what we're actually seeing is a new spiritual beginning with the Ace of Wands. And this is a very passionate, creative beginning, which is really interesting because we have got this card here that says let go of inhibitions and be creative. So you are just being asked to stay in that energy of detachment and just to allow things to be as they want to be. Your person wants to make an offer. You know, we've got the Knight of Cups and Knight of Pentacles here. This is them coming forward romantically. You know, perhaps not in a deep, meaningful, committed, loving way, but this is someone that wants to date you, that wants to see you, or that wants to open the lines of communication, and that wants for everything to kind of start moving. The Knight of Pentacles clarifies that they're still thinking about how to do that. They're so afraid that they're not going to have enough to offer you, or what they do offer you won't be enough for you, that you're going to reject it as not being enough. So really the biggest message here is, I've made a decision. I'm coming in. Please be gentle with me. Please don't expect me to propose straight away or to move in or to, see each other every day. Let's just take this easy and gently. Let's just enjoy being light-hearted and enjoying one another's company again. This person has got a significant heart space blockage, which means they struggle to bring forward their emotional depths. But again, with this Page and Knight of Cups, we do see a commitment to opening their heart. We see a commitment to them trying, despite the fear that exists within them. There has been a death here. There's been an ending of some sort, which has allowed for this rebirth to happen. But there is still work to be done. And you may find that, they are a little bit hot and cold whilst they figure out how to keep their heart space open. This is kind of tentatively dipping their toes in, but they may find that they pull their toe out of the water again. And you're going to need to be patient with them, is what they're saying, because they are beginning to understand. And look, I'm thinking about how to make a move. They're beginning to recognize that they can't keep running from this connection. But yeah, your energy asks me to grow, and I'm not ready to grow. This is what connections, these spiritual connections, they ask us to kind of really develop self-awareness around who we are and what we bring to the table. And this person finds that very daunting. They're not very good at being accountable for their behaviours, for their actions. But that's primarily because they've not been taught to communicate in that way. Most of what we learn about communication, about love, about relationships, this has come through already today. It feels really familiar. Most of that is what we learned from those people we grew up around, our parents, our friends, the people that are close to us as we grow up. And, they haven't been taught the right way. Yeah. Most of these people that taught them didn't understand really what love and relationships, what healthy love and relationships look like to themselves. So they recognize that when they speak to you, you have a very different perspective about love and relationships. And they recognize a lot of truth in your perspective. But right now, that's asking them to evolve, and they don't feel ready for that. It means acknowledging weakness within themselves, and they're not entirely comfortable doing that. But until each of you can learn to have a real conversation about what you want, what your shadows are, what your pain is like, who you really are, how you've been hurt, love and this open heart will remain a transient state. So what's actually being asked of you here from your person is to remain, to keep your heart open, so that they can use that as the guiding energy and force in this connection. By you demonstrating vulnerability, by you communicating from a place of truth and authenticity, you're actually creating space for them to be able to do the same. That's what they really need from you right now. And, this person's been through a lot. Kali is a very destructive energy. Whatever ending that they have had, it's been really, really hard for them, and when we have trauma, our mind, it processes it in a way that allows us to cope. But to stop us from actually going crazy, stop us from actually losing it, trauma kind of freezes the emotions that are connected to it. So we unconsciously, we kind of stop feeling trauma. But in reality, it's like a movie playing in the background with no sound. It's still there. And we have to face it and feel it to release it. And this is what this person is so afraid of. This is why they're not ready to grow. There's an awareness in them that in order to start unraveling the programming that's caused them to be closed-hearted, that's caused them to be suspicious, that's caused them to have these destructive behaviours in relationships, there's an awareness that they have to start reflecting on the past, to release that energy. It says here, through the power of love, you release stagnant situations or energy in order to transform your heart space. That's what your energy calls them to do. That's the action they're being called into. And they're saying to you, that's really hard for me. Please, can you lead by example? When you show me how you do this, and you're coming at this from the energy of authenticity and truth and vulnerability, you're creating space for them to do the same. And it says here integrity. You demonstrate the truth and honesty of your soul and manifest love with every action. So both of you need to be more authentic here, but I feel in particular that you need to lead in this respect. In order for you to heal your relationship with another, you must first heal the relationship you have with yourself. Forgive yourself, accept yourself, and love yourself. And again, I'm hearing this is the energy that you're both bringing to this connection. You know, this is something that both of you need to do. And I'm hearing that there are ancient patterns of non-acceptance for self in both of you. You know, this is something that you're both going to have to dig deep into the past to start transmuting. But you can start by, you know, being aware of how you do communicate with yourself and how that inner dialogue is either sabotaging, you know, your emotional and mental well-being or reinforcing it. You know, if you're becoming aware of judgments towards yourself and towards them, you need to develop the awareness now to pause and question that and to find the root cause of that judgment and that pain that's being brought forward. Again, you know, this is just belief programming. These are just old patterns of behavior that have come from the beliefs we've developed in childhood, and awareness is needed to change those programs. Both of you still have work to do connected to self-love, but it feels like you've done enough work. You've risen above enough of that unhealthy programming to be able to make a real go of this now. I just feel like you're not angry anymore. You know, I do feel you're tired. You know, you are a little bit tired. It feels like you're just always giving more than you receive. And it feels like you kind of recognize that love can be unconditional, but your presence isn't. You know, your presence doesn't need to be unconditional. You can choose to still love someone very deeply and not be involved with them because, you know, their presence in your life is destructive. And it feels like that's what you've done with this person. And so this is why I feel like this is the message coming through. I've made a decision and I need you to be open and ready for me, because you may have given them an ultimatum that was very much based in codependence and conditional love. You know, you're either all in or you're all out. There's no in between for me. Either we're having a relationship and you're committed, or leave me alone. And as I said, this person isn't ready for commitment. And in truth, neither are you, because you're both healing. This person's saying, you know, let me come in gently. Let me just nurture this connection. Let's nurture one another. Let's start healing together. You know, we can't just leap forward to the end as much as you would like that. You know, they're ready for that new beginning, but they need you to release some of your expectations. And also, one of the messages that's coming through here connected to your codependence, and I feel this is a bone of contention between you guys, is, you know, that they perhaps aren't always as communicative as you would like. And I apologise for the bluntness in which this comes through. It's just how it's being communicated to me. But, you know, they're basically saying that people are allowed to decide they don't want to communicate. You're not actually entitled to anybody's time. And I have to say, I agree with this. You know, people often think that just because we're at the other end of a phone, that when they decide it's a convenient time to talk to us, that we should make ourselves available to satisfy that expectation. In reality, just because I have my phone with me does not mean that I am in the frame of mind or that it's convenient for me to respond. And when people take offence, you know, to any such delays surrounding responses, you know, you're really putting undue pressure on someone. You don't know what's happening in their day or in their week that means that they, you know, they need to pull back their energy in some way. And you're not always owed an explanation. So this is kind of drawing to your awareness how you're still triggered by the actions or the lack of action as far as others concerned, that you still have some unhealthy expectations around relationships, and you disguise these as healthy boundaries. You know, you may have learned through the 3D paradigm that is a normal expectation, but in reality, you know, it's not. Yes, it's, you know, that person needs to respond at some point, I guess, but really they may decide they're not ready to, and that they're entitled to take as long as they need to feel comfortable doing that. Sometimes we just have to respect that people are allowed to make decisions about their own comfort. and what they want, and that we shouldn't always take it personally, because 9 times out of 10, it's not the case that they're ignoring us, but just that they're tied up with something else. So let go of inhibitions, be creative, allow your imagination to run wild. Your love life will transform in ways you never thought possible. So yeah, this for me is about letting go of expectations. Just being creative about how you can still nurture a very deep intimacy without needing all of that affirming, yes, we're committed, yes, we're going to be together forever. You know, you feel like you need to hear all of this stuff, whereas your person's asking you to give them time to open their heart and to get comfortable expressing themselves, and just, you know, to allow you to be together right now without expectation. I feel you forever in my heart. You are in my thoughts. You are in the air I breathe. You are a jewel, a sparkling diamond. Your heart is like a great ocean of love. Thank you. So, you know, this person does feel you there, but their heart is blocked, and quite often they don't feel anything. As I said, that energy is transient, and rather than taking it personally and thinking they're blowing hot and cold on you, you're being asked to recognize that they're just giving as far as they're able to give, given the condition of, you know, the present condition of their heart. Stop taking life so seriously. Achievements and possessions will pale into insignificance when your soul journeys back home to the light from which everything stems. I feel this is a message for both of you. I feel like there's been a lot of emphasis placed on the material needs of this connection. This could be, you know, what each of you does for work. There's possibly some disparity there. There might be a geographic distance between you. There may feel like lots of practical obstacles that, you know, at first glance seem insurmountable, or seem like a permanent obstacle or blockage to this connection being successful. And you're being asked to just disregard those, that whilst they may look significant, in real terms they're not, and that, you know, everything will flow as it's meant to when you release that. We've got the dried flower fairy as well, sweet memories, and this is a number 11, and I just feel like this person is being triggered to recognize, you know, all of the positive aspects of this connection, and this is what's driving it forward. As I said, there's been some kind of ending here. You know, something has been destroyed so that this person can have this higher and broader perspective. And they are very nostalgic about this connection right now. They are wanting to move it forward. But the barrier right now is you. The barrier is your expectations. The barrier is you wanting more than what's available. And again, you disguise these unhealthy expectations by perceiving them as healthy boundaries. I deserve this. I deserve more. You know, I'm not going to settle for less. But really, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. You know, yes, you deserve more. Yes, you deserve love and commitment. But you're assuming that your history with this person means you should rush straight to the finish line. Whereas in reality, you're being asked to start over. You're being asked to look at this with a fresh perspective. And to recognise that your own codependence is still shining through and acting as a blockage here. So let's get some guidance cards as well for you quickly. I know this has gone on a bit longer, but I want to take it over to the extended. I don't want to leave you without the guidance. Right, so let's do this. I'm going to get some of these and the others. Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Tower. We have got, I believe. We've got the Map. We have got that you are safe with me. The Love Hurts. And if you can read this, you are too close. And I'm going to get some more of these message cards as well. I still don't know what I want. I care, but I'm confused. My life is a mess right now. I don't want to burden you. I have to do what is right by my family. I hope you can understand. So, oh, sorry for the wobbly camera. So as far as guidance for you is concerned, you know, you're being asked to just approach this from a place of equanimity, to be very careful and measured in your communication messages with this person, to tap into your intuition, to stay grounded and to stay faithful. You know, just to trust this is moving in the right direction. As I said, this person has moved out of this inner conflict towards decisive energy, but you know, they can snap shut again. I still don't know what I want. I care, but I'm confused. And again, they just need to take it slowly. They're still not 100%, but they are taking action. And you need to reward that action with trust, you know, to trust that you are safe with them, you know, and love does hurt. You know, this journey hurts because your job is to trigger one another, to bring all of those shadow aspects to the surface. It's not an easy process, but you're both being asked to recognize that, you know, this triggering isn't personal. It's not them that's hurting you. They're just uncovering pre-existing wounds. It's not them that's hurting you. They're just bringing your awareness to the hurt that's already there. And, you know, you are on a journey. And to trust that the end is in sight. You know, X marks the spot and you're heading there. You've just got to trust in the flow of divine energy. This person says, my life is a mess right now and I don't want to burden you. And again, we did see, you know, that they're reluctant to really commit, and I have to do what is right by my family. It certainly seems like this person has family constraints, restrictions, issues that prevents them from really moving forward. This can also indicate travel. You know, this person may need to go somewhere else. They may need to travel somewhere else. There's some connection to family here, which is an obstacle, and they don't want to burden you with that. They're still finding the time to rise above that. They're finding the energy and the understanding to help them rise above it. So, you know, right now you need to be open to communication, but really measured when it comes to that communication. You know, you don't want to be wielding that sword in painful ways. If you can read this, you're too close. You know, this person's going to still need space at times. You know, this is why they're not ready to commit. They're having a tower moment in their life right now. You know, their life is a mess. I have to do what is right by my family. Old situations are crumbling. They're crumbling. You know, this is what we're saying. They're releasing stagnant situations. Like we said, Kali is a destructive energy. This rebirth is still in motion. And so they're asking you to recognize this and to be understanding of this need they have to just go slowly with this while, you know, everything is brought back into balance. So I'm going to take this over to the extended. We're going to take a deeper look at how they're thinking and feeling about the connection, what their intentions are. Take a deeper look at what the guidance is for you as well. So if you really enjoyed this reading and it resonated, you can find the link to the extended in the description box below. If not, thank you so much for tuning in anyway. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you did enjoy this video, please do tap the like button. It really does make such a difference to my channel, and it's just such a small thing for you to do by way of a really nice, easy energy exchange. Just a little like, and that helps me out as I've helped you out with a reading. So thank you so much. I noticed a lot of you guys are doing that, and I appreciate it so much. And also, if you would like to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. Tap the little subscribe button and the bell icon next to it, and you'll get an update every time I post. You can also find me on Instagram at happysouls1111. See you next time, guys. Bye.